We set the trend in the script.
You are, you have been, you will be under the groove.
Snip this glue, get in the zone, because we got to go do something. So that's what we did. And I'm going to be honest with you, I used to like it. You got people from the east and the west and different places, to come over and groove with us.
Was Hoover Groovers a part of Hoover? Never met a Hoover Groover. Me and you was never in my life. But
a part of what was called the Bonzella Crips.
Hoover Groovers ain't started no Hoover Crips. And we hit that hand moving on you, walking in your house.
Wait, do that again.
Hit that hand moving on you, that messed up your whole party. You are, you have been, you will be under the groove.
That be me,
homie. It's impactful.
As time went on, I realized, but it took me a little time, a long time in that system by myself in that cell. To like, damn, I'm hurting everybody.
Your life impact other people.
Yeah, I never seen it like that.
Yeah, I had to learn that though. I swear, I didn't get to that till after my little brother got killed.
Right.
And I started just, 2004. I started looking at it like, damn, man, cause that's my dude.
Yeah,
I raised him. And I said, damn. Now, had I been there, circumstances could have been different. But I had to change a lot of shit to make sure he made it through. My life, man, ain't mine.
Right.
It's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not all about us.
It's not your life, man. You got people depending on you.
Right.
So your life, man, it transcends, or it spills over to other people. You matter.
Right.
You matter more than just to yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? This shit is selfless.
Yeah.
On the real. It took me. It took us.
Yeah.
To have to go through shit to come to this realization. Then this ain't my life, ain't mine, but it ain't mine.
Right. Yeah.
I got people that need me. I got shit to do for people.
Yeah, it's your purpose, because we were intentionally created, to be where we have these experiences that we have, and again, it's not just for us. I kind of liken that to like a fruit tree.
Come on.
So you never see an apple kind of like sitting down eating on an apple like this show tastes good. The fruit tree,
that apple,
it produces it for somebody other than itself.
It's nurturing.
Yeah. So our experiences are produced for somebody else and the benefit.
It's to benefit and nurture other people. Yeah. I think that's I think, just my opinion, that's the basis of what our lives is supposed to be about. It's not our life. We live to nurture and bring up and help others. That's what it's about. We've been on the wrong course for a minute now, and hopefully, man, we can get to the point where brothers and sisters start understanding that, man, we're in this together.
Yeah.
We all we got. We're in this together, man. We all we got.
Yeah. At a pivotal moment in time where there's people that's going to determine how our people should live. And making decisions through voting or what have you. And sometimes we're so inherent, we're so busy talking about boys in the hood, we don't recognize the new world order that's taking place in front of us. So this conversation within itself, I'm appreciative for the invitation. I'm certain that it's going to impact other people's lives, because we're not a bunch of gang members sitting around talking about stuff. We're
part of this get down, man, and we just got to get to that.
And it's relevant to other men across this country that they can just insert themselves in right there and say, I can relate to that.
You just said, man, look, I think one of our problems is, those saying you can't see the forest for the trees, or you can't see the blizzard for the snow, or whatever it is. But the point is, you look at your life, man. Look at what you're doing with it, and how it affects the environment of those around you. You know what I mean? See yourself, man, as a part of this environment of society, man, because it's bigger than you. It's bigger. You can't see the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
The forest.
Yeah.
We just trees in this motherfucker, man.
Mm-hmm.
We are the forest, though,
Yeah.
combined.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We make up the forest. Ain't no forest if it ain't no trees.
That's
On the real.
Real shit.
right.
That's just land.
Real
Yeah.
shit.
A mountain or something.
Yeah.
A forest is a forest based on what does it consist of?
Right.
The trees.
Right.
We the fucking trees, man. We don't even see the forest, man, that we make. We make the motherfucking forest. Real shit. We got to find a way, man, to get to where we need to be, man. Be this forest. To be these trees that's a part of this get out, man.
Right.
Y'all coming, man. I'm telling you, impactful. It's impactful. Now we can add some more trees to this forest. Watch. I already know. Man.
Right.
So I'm gonna say, man, there are 4 phases to this get out. When I started this get out, man, I started what made me start Under the Groove, the Hoover story, was a result of another individual doing something that I thought was inappropriate.
Inappropriate?
Okay,
go ahead.
You know what I mean? That said, I decided to, start a podcast, but I said I don't want to base it on what that individual did.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wanted to have some substance. So the substance is these 4 phases. One is the story, and I don't mean the Hoover story. I mean the story.
Right.
The history of the individual.
Right.
You know what I mean? That individual's understanding of what is a cautionary existence, or he could share with another individual to help them along the way, man. Make hopefully help them miss the pitfalls and the shit that's landing the roads. The second, the third is atonement. How do we atone, or what have we done to atone for the life we lived? When some of us know we live some foul.
Right.
We live, we done
Gutter
some
line.
shit,
Gutter line.
And the last but not least is, who's the real enemy? All right. So these are the 4 phases of Under the Groove. And now, lately I've been, I fell off not bringing this up with individuals on the podcast, but it's the cornerstone of the get down, man. The 4 phases.
Right.
Your history, your story. What can you impart to individuals that's cautionary to help them along the way, man, so that they don't, fall victim to whatever we fell victim to. Atonement, 3 and 4. Who's the real enemy? So I want to start with you, Todd. You gave us your story. Impart. It ain't, the whole get down, man, because I know you brothers got history.
Yeah.
But so let's start from, what can you give to the people, man, that's a cautionary advice or guidance?
Well, I can give my experience, and I know the old adage is that experience is the best teacher, and it is. Just doesn't have to be your experience. You can learn from somebody else's experience. I got out of my experience through the gang culture is I'm committed, I'm loyal, and I love my community, but I don't have to hate the next person to do that. And so I think deep down inside, we all want to have a measure of peace. And peace is just void of hostility. I mean, everybody want to be able to go somewhere and just enjoy themselves or whatever. And so I'm hoping that one day we can get to that as a people, as a collective, that we can go wherever we want to go, enjoy one another. I'll close with this. I remember one time I was in the county jail. I was going to court, going back and forth to court, and I was sitting there, and it was a Damu. He was a Damu. I knew where he was from, and we talking. I had a brother that stayed in his community, but I'm talking to him, and we talking, and I'm talking about all the other different people that I met from my brother that lived in his community, and we talking about experiences and the summer and going swimming, and we talking about like 30 minutes. We going back from court, and we talking, and so he finally paused. He say, "Where you from?" And I told him, no, what he kept saying, because he was blood, he kept saying, yeah, blood and this and that. And then I guess he realized I wasn't saying blood back. And he paused, he said, where are you from? I said, I'm a Crip, homie. This dude turned around in his seat and didn't say nothing else to me for the rest of the ride. But it just goes to show that when we can engage each other without the element of knowing like where we from. But if other than that, we can get along good and perfect. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't take pride in our community, but we shouldn't allow that, because there's people, and they probably won't voice it, but they say, I got some homies that's from other neighborhoods that's my stomp down homie.
Real talk.
You know, and I had dudes tell me, Taco, you my big homie. And they from different neighborhoods. I'm like, all right, that's cool. But when do we get past that to where my allegiance is not to my community, but to the violence that goes with it? Because we taking into account that the more violent that I can be, the more reputable I can be. But that's, to me, not how you show the love for your community or your people.
Right.
Is by harming them or bringing shame to your community.
All right, so there's that. Now I want to ask you, and you, I think you already spoke on it, but to hear you speak on it further is a good thing. I think for the people to hear. Atonement. How have you atoned for your past life, your previous actions in life, your life?
Yeah. So again, I've been out 20 years, and I'm not the same Taco that I used to be. And there's, you know, I got a lot of little homies that don't know the Taco who I was. And I've done some things that I shouldn't have done, that I do have to make an atonement for. And atonement is not for them. It's for me. It's for God. It's for me to be able to have a conscience. Like, you know, I can't go back and change things, but I do owe this to. Atonement is a word that I use for at one. It's like I'm at one with God. God, I'm doing what you called me to do. You gave me the opportunity to be out, to be alive, to survive some things. Now I got to make it right with you. And a lot of times that's challenging for me, because again, on one hand, I got my allegiance to the set and some of those principles. And then on the other hand, there's guys saying, hey, I gave you a break now. You can't deal with that the way how you used to deal with
try to F me.
Right.
Hold on.
Yeah. You gotta hold them. Remember when you was in that cell? And when you was in that hospital bed, all right now.
Trying to get out of survive.
Yeah. You know, because we all done broke with deals with God. If you just this one time, or if you let me get this, I'm good. So that atonement piece is for me to make it right by not, you know, rescinding, reneging on the deal that I have to God, and that's to be the best product that He has called me to be, and you know, a best representative of that. And sometimes that's extremely difficult, because we've always kind of within the gang culture, if you're a peacemaker, is synonymous with a buster. And I'm not there anymore. It's like, I think everybody want peace. Everybody want to live.
So we all busters.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm really trying to change the narrative of that when we talk about intervention or about peace building and peacemaking in our communities, and make it more fashionable. Be like, don't you feel good, homie, that you can go pump your gas and you ain't,
come on,
don't
you ain't got to look over your shoulder.
And that, you know, don't you feel good that your phone ain't ringing at 1 o'clock in the morning? I mean, all of those things are where we ascribe to get to at some point in our life.
And I need you to just say that. What organization are you with, Todd?
Right now, so I have my own organization called Detours Mentoring Group. It's in my community where homies can walk up and get the services that they need. A lot of times it's other people from other communities that come and get the services. I've written hundreds, if not thousands, of letters to the parole boards to help get homies out from any neighborhood that you
don't matter where they from.
Don't matter. If you need my help, and you can see it as Taco over at Detours, or Taco from Payback Crips, help me or whatever. And I believe that helps some of us in terms of the brand, where homies seem like they kind of like they help everybody, or so I believe that, you know, in terms of doing this work, that's one of my jobs. But I'm also with APUU, Advocates for Peace and Urban Unity,
I'm familiar with that one. Yeah,
we provide the same services when homies is looking for work, trying to be impacted, because a lot of us are impacted because of our gang culture.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
You couldn't go to certain schools, not because you didn't know how to read or write, because it was
you
over
from
there.
the different set.
Yeah. So it's like I'm a high school dropout. I can only go to certain schools, and then at some point I'll get it while I'm in juvenile hall the next time. So my thing is that when we have entities or service providers that's organic to the nature of the gang culture, they understand a little bit more that when the homie come in there, he don't know how to talk, he don't know how to fill out an application. That's what we there for.
All right.
So I always salute any nonprofit, any CBO out there that's open.
Are they all good? Do they all work? And I don't mean that's a whole new conversation.
Yeah.
But if you could give it to us briefly, the yeah and nay on that.
And that's kind of I would say yes and no, just kind of like all homies that come home from prison ain't good either. So it's like just because you did X amount of time, that don't mean that you good. You ain't telling everybody where you did it at.
I got you.
Or why you did it that way. But so yes, I would say not anything is perfect, but I think the field of peacemaking, the field of intervention is good. And I think that happens by default, because if you ain't right, the homie's gonna let you know. Y'all gotta close that down. We ain't doing that over here. It can't happen. So if it ain't good, then it's up to the hood to tell you that.
All right. So, and last but not least, but is this one? Who's the real enemy, Doc? Who's the real enemy?
My real enemy? It depends on what day of the week it is. Sometimes my real enemy is me.
That's who I thought of.
You hold on, look, because I'm coming to you.
My real enemy
you
is
fresh
me
out.
when because there's two tacos in it. And one of them,
you have this dual personality. Huh?
I had to take a fade with him sometimes. Sit down. That ain't, you didn't hear what you thought you heard. Sometimes a person can blow their horn at me, and I want to be a different taco. And like, damn, he just blew his horn at me.
Like, man, fuck you. Excuse my language. Hey, man, what?
Yeah. So it's me sometimes, and then sometimes it's me being naive of the fact that there's a system. There's something by design that's pitted against me, and I can't be distracted by this over here, knowing that it's really bigger than that, homie. This not you looking at this, but the bigger picture is this. So I would say it's me, and me not taking the time to educate myself, inform myself, or be aware of the distraction.
What is you now doing what?
It's me not taking the initiative and do what I know that is right.
Hello?
Saying the things that I know that is right, like
educating yourself,
educating myself. Sometimes it's going against the grain, or sometimes it's like getting in there and like just going to do it. Here's my example. So it was some disrespectful stuff that was struck up in another neighborhood, and whoever wrote it, they wrote our set up there. The right thing to do is to go paint over it.
Yeah, cover it.
Like, damn, Taco, go over there, go paint over it, man. That's just, when I'm busy, man. I'm at work. I'm doing, and it didn't get painted over quick enough, and so it got whacked out, got disrespected. And I'm like, now I'm feeling some kind of way. But Taco, if you would have went and painted over, that would have never happened. So, those are the struggles that I have. Is like doing the things that I know is the right thing to do, and making sure that things get done. And so every day I'm learning. This is a process.
There you
it's
go.
like Taco
Today
ain't
we
got it
die.
out yet.
Students.
It's gonna be continuous. This is a process. I'm gonna encounter different people with different perspectives. I'm gonna learn. Like TS said, I'm always learning. I'm always learning. And I had to be able to accept that my ways and my understanding isn't always the way.
Yeah. All right. So hide them. I just said top. There are 4 phases. You already spoke your history or the history aspect of it. There's a cautionary tale or existence you want to share with those. Then there's the atonement, and the who's real enemy. So let's address what you could share with the younger brothers, anybody, in terms of cautionary this life, man. How to avoid it or how to whatever, survive it.
Well, I'm gonna say how to survive and how to avoid it. I'm gonna say drugs might play a big part, so you might want to say no to drugs. I'm gonna use that one.
Hello,
because
that's
that's gonna take you out of a whole bunch of what you was taught, what you learned. It's gonna take you in a whole different page. That's a whole nother person.
That is a first. I gotta say that on the podcast. That's a first.
Right. By you thinking clear, staying focused, you know what I'm saying? Your mind ain't just all foggied up. You know what I'm saying? So you want to keep a clear mind, clear head, and everything else, and you can move a little bit much better. The next one, what you was asking?
That's it for the cautionary.
Right.
Okay, so the next one is.
I'm gonna say what he said. I really want to say that, but at the end, I'm gonna say about the
No, the next one is atonement.
Atonement.
How do you atone for your previous lifestyle, or how you got out of shit how you got out in the past? How do you atone for that? You know, because like I'm saying, atonement is also just thinking about what we know we've done. A lot of people don't know what we've done. I say we keep secret. Right. How have you made up for that, or you know, whatever the case may be? Ask you God or whatever it means to forgive you for that. Right. What have you done to set yourself or to bring yourself some peace? Forgive yourself, right, for these things.
Well, I was always brought up praying, so I always prayed, even and forgive you, and ask the Lord to forgive you for your sins. So even when I was doing the wrong, the minute I did wrong, I prayed.
You knew off the bat,
right? So I didn't fear that extra fear or my cautious. I wasn't just paranoid all day long because I believe in the Lord still today. So that's what I was doing. But now I'm looking at not just praying. I'm trying to be, you know, productive more, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just praying for certain things, I'm going for certain things also. Not just, hey, I pray to be rich or this and this and that. I'm trying to, you know, stack and things in that nature. I'm trying to understand it a little clearer, but yeah, that's, you know, because I did a whole bunch of wrong and I just prayed for it. And I see I didn't just let it just twist me all the way up. You feel what I'm saying? Just where it just got me tripped out, just wigging myself out, really, basically. But now that I have changed, I see the long haul now. I'm gonna just say it like that. There. What was the next one?
And the last one is who's the real enemy?
Well, I'm gonna say who ain't the enemy. It's us as a black culture. We're not the enemy. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say it just as deep as I can because during that time, what I realize is we there for each other deep down. We can be there for each other, and if we are there for each other, hey. We're not the enemy. Really, deep down, we're not the enemy. I had different individuals that I thought was the enemy. I'm talking about Damus and everything else, and they stopped me from acting a fool. One Ty Bud from Athens Park, you know what he said? He said, "Big Nate, don't make it hard on yourself," and that stopped me from everything that I was finna do. Cause they was down with me. All the people that was there, they was down with me, but he just slid up real quick. Don't make it hard on yourself, big bro. Straight up. And it stopped me in my track like it was my father or something. It just stopped me. Blam. I thought about it. So when I really look at it, even the black officers and all that, they really not the enemies. They just going on with the flow. They doing their job. You feel what I'm saying? So if we can all really just come together like that there, not even saying no Rodney King type stuff, but we all just come together and really realize it. I can walk the Broadway, not even tripping, going to any gas station without even thinking about it. Shoot. Yeah, that's a hell of an impact. That's a hell of an impact. That says a lot. That's a hell of a message. Strong. Because we strong. We strong as an individual, as a black culture. We strong. And I think they all know that.
And they all know that. They all know that. They not like us, but anyway. Look.
Yes, sir.
And again, man, I'm just I ain't trying to harp on this shit, man, more than necessary, but I didn't know you was only 20-something days on, homie.
Yeah,
that's phenomenal, homie. And you're here. And you're here. So that's a good look. For you and your story, man, you know, like these brothers, man, really, we ain't even touched the tip of the iceberg. You come home after 20. After 20, what can you say or share with the people, man, in terms of a cautionary advice? How to avoid what you just went. You just went through 20. What can you impart to them, man?
I can't denounce the lifestyle and tell them, you know, stop banging or this and that. You ain't gonna get nothing good out of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's basically pretty much if you partaking, And if you out there as a younger homie, whatever, if you living a lifestyle, you know, it's just things you need to do. Move smart, pay attention, because you know, one little hiccup and you might don't you might experience something you can't get back from.
Bad news might beat you home.
Yeah, I was having
Yeah.
fun and chilling. You know, the night I went to jail, I was on the way to the hotel about to get me some weed. Never made it. It turned into a 28-year sentence. And me getting out 23 days later from that night. It just happened like that night. So it's like, you know, one false move while you think you're on one, whatever. It's like that shit could go bad. So it's like you might don't always want to react. You might, if you got time to think about something, if it's a situation where you ain't really got to just dive into it right there, might want to take pause, because if you know, move the wrong way, it could go bad. You might not never see out here again.
Right.
So it's like where you want to live your life. I don't ever want to see no motherfucking cell again. Like for real. Like not because
what was it? Where you served it? What you parole from?
I paroled from Kern Valley, from B yard, on the 180 yard.
The 180.
Mm-hmm. So like, you know, the ones I left behind, like in regard, like I say, Frog Voodoo, they all up in there, and the whole, you know,
was up there with them,
the situation,
man.
I know all about
you know
it.
To get out. Yeah.
I knew what was going on
They're
before it was
dudes,
about
man.
to go on. Yeah, the whole little crew.
Yeah.
Was talking to them, knew, like, if you can't reach me, that's why, you know, before the last little whatever they involved in.
Yeah.
You know, the bigger thing, not whatever.
I know what you mean. I know exactly what
you mean.
So,
yeah, been around it the whole time. The biggest punishment that always like drilled into me was what I couldn't do because I was sitting in a cell. You know, the issue wasn't nothing that was going on in jail. I deal with all that little. You know, cause mom's always said, stop playing with your freedom. And I never processed it, you know, like what, you know, the deeper meaning of what she is telling me, because it matter. And they could wipe you down if you're moving wrong. So motherfucker needs to pay attention. It's easy to react, you know. If it go wrong, it's all bad. So pay attention.
Okay, the next one then is Atonement. And again, you fresh, man. So you're just now putting boots on the ground, so to speak, your feet on the ground, you know, walking this path now, you know, appreciating where you came from to where you are. Exactly. But how can you, if you're able, can you express how you see atonement for you? How do you atone for the shit, you know, this 20 years and everything that got you the way you was? How do you atone for that?
On a personal note, is for one to try to basically not try, but maintain my freedom and keep myself out here. Like on a personal level, just growth with how I think and all that. You know, I'm still the same person in a lot of ways, but my behavior different because I know better now. My outlook on a lot of things different, so I move different. You know, so the atonement part, you know, would be just like correct myself. I'm always working on myself. Always been my own worst critic. You know what I mean? So I'm always on myself. You know, y'all could get on me, but I didn't already got on myself. When I know, you know, I'm on a certain path. But yeah, the atonement would be that. And then whatever positive impact you could have on those that's around you that you're dealing with along the way. So it'd be like you ain't never misguided nobody about how you know, been around them or whatever you told them along the way in that lifestyle. Interaction, the relationships, the people you deal with, people you might have, you know, didn't cater to that you should have.
Yeah.
Try to be there, better yourself, you know, and those you deal with. That would be my atonement.
Okay. And the last, but not least, like I said, is who's your real enemy? Love. Who's your real enemy?
Right now, nobody, and I'm hoping it don't be myself. You know, by making wrong decisions, but I'm always conscious of that. So as long as nobody, you know, get in my square doing something directly, I can't think of no enemy to name with that question. You feel me? So as of right now, it's nobody. You know?
Yeah. That's a first.
No, yeah,
that's
what it is.
I've had two firsts on this get down right here, man, and I appreciate that. one thing I do recognize, and that is a constant on this get down is, I think family is a constant, man. No matter who sit down, man, and under the groove, one thing we all have in common is the family. You know, ourselves here, but if we all listen, we talking about family, those we love, right? You know, those we want to support, those we want to help, look out for.
We know what matter now, and you know what we should have
been
doing.
That's some serious shit to me, man. You know, and it is obviously to you guys because that's all I've been hearing. That's all I've been hearing from the paybacks. Family, our community.
He showed you that family picture, right?
Yeah, I got them pictures. We gonna post some pictures.
Oh yeah.
With the get out.
Yeah. So on that picture, is you see a family picture. Everybody who has been impacted by our community, and also who bring value to our community.
Yeah.
Because that's how we see it as a collective. Like we all don't do the same thing, but we all do something.
Yeah.
You know, to demonstrate the love for one another or the value of our community. And so that's why we've been around for 50 years.
Man.
And again, everybody does something unique and special. Everybody brings a special gift to the community. And so when we lose a homie or an elder or anybody from our community, it rips away at the fabric of our community because we're woven together.
That quilt had the stitch missing.
Yeah. So when we lose an elder in our community, whether it was a homie, relative or not, we have a candlelight vigil. We honor that person because we see it on a bigger scale. It's not just our gang. It's kind of like, what's the difference between a ship and a boat? You could put a boat on a ship.
You can't put a ship
on a boat.
Yeah.
So the gang is not bigger than the community. You know, the community is bigger than the gang, and we love our community just as much as we love our gang, and we are inclusive to recognize that our elders and the children in our community bring value to us.
Can you repeat that, please? It's for the people. What you just said about the elders and the community understanding how the community is what it is based on or because of elders.
So the community is a collective again of the gang, of people who on drugs, or people who are successful, all of that, and everybody is relevant in our community, which is inclusive of the gang. But our elders, we honor them and we celebrate them because we wouldn't be a community without them. And then we wouldn't have a future without the young people, without the children. So we take that into account, that everybody's not going to claim the set. There's going to be some young people from our community that want to go on and do something different.
That's right.
And some of the older people, the elders, they not gonna call the police on them. They're gonna come outside and say, Taco, y'all get on with that stuff. Y'all take that trash with y'all when y'all finish, or they're gonna say, come on, baby, did y'all eat?
Yeah.
Because y'all out here and y'all eating them chips and stuff. Y'all come on here and get some food, or so we gotta make it integrated that our communities, even though as gang members, we're just part of the community. That doesn't represent the collective as a community.
All right. And on that note, I want to say, that's good. All right, the elders. Yeah. I phrase it as the OGs. OGs, man, are our pastors, so to speak. You know what I mean? I'm metaphorically speaking. They're the pastors, man. The community is the church, and the people in the community is the congregation. You know what I mean? And I think it lines up with what you said. We have to pay a certain respect, you know what I'm saying, to our elders. You know what I mean? Because without them, man, a whole lot is missing. A whole lot is missing, man. We're not gonna get that. Hey, boy, pick that trash up when you leave. Don't leave that there. You hungry? Come here, man. Let me tell you something. I think it's all relevant, man. That's saying, man, I want.
Let me say this before we go, because I do want to give out a shout.
No, you're gonna get that opportunity. Okay, trust me. I'm not going to. You will not leave here without doing all three of y'all with the shouts out. I was just gonna say right quick, man. To end that statement, we need to stop playing with ourselves. And instead take control of ourselves. I think that need to be said. We're playing. Stop playing, man. Control the situation. So now That said, get these shouts out, man, Taco. You know, and get them out there, man. Let people know that you're talking to them.
Yeah, my shout out is to first my community and the love that has generated and made me who I am, uh, so to speak. I wouldn't be who I am without my community. But I also want to give a special shout out to my young homies, and my young homies, and with a lot of different other young homies, it's kind of like I use the baby pigeon analogy. You know, I see pigeons all over Los Angeles, but it's rare that I see baby pigeons. But I know that they exist. Yeah, I know that they exist, and our younger homies show us a level of respect, because we're their big homies. We can have those conversations even when they think that, you know, our policy doesn't measure up to what today's, you know, norms are. And so I respect them for that, and I respect them for, you know, when we ask them to do something, that they do it. When we ask them to respect something, they respect it. But they also have the willingness to come and tell us, like, this ain't what it is, big homie. You're a big homie, but you 30 years removed from what's going on today's, you know, gang culture. And so I would want to also give a shout out to anybody that's involved in the gang culture as a young person, and what they dialed into and what they anticipating for the ride. The ride isn't about killing our people. The ride isn't about hating our people. The ride is more so take pride in your community. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that doesn't mean that the next person has to die. And usually, unfortunately, it's innocent people that die at the hands of people who want to go represent their community. And we can't continue to do that. You can't continue to take the lives of our people away from us, and that's not something that we're fond of, in terms of as we grew older and begin to understand that this isn't what community pride is about.
You're right. Yeah. Knee hider, the rider.
The pro shit. But go ahead.
Go on, your
I'm gonna give a
turn.
shout out to all members, homie. I'm gonna give out a shout out to all the members, homie.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm gonna do. That's on Back Gang.
That's it. All right. What to do, Luck? Shout out.
Shit, you know, based off the topic, to my homies for sure. You know, of course, you know, without them, you know, I look at it in the, you know, my parents. Without them, it wouldn't be me, because they would brought me up. They bred me while I was coming up out there in the lifestyle. So I never felt like I was out there alone. So that part always felt good, which is what keeps me here today. Because I want to have the other ones feeling like that they got somebody there for them, like I felt when I was younger, and who I had around me as my homeboy. So it's like, you know, a shout out to my homies always for life. You know what I mean? And other homies, allies, homies I was raised with, been around. I won't start doing a whole bunch of name dropping. Those that know me on a personal note, been around me, they know. If you watching, much love, always support, you know. So yeah, shout out to those.
Man.
They know who they are.
All right, so me, I want to give a shout out to the Payback Foundation, the Payback Crip Foundation, man. It was an honor, man, to have y'all here, man, representing. You know what I mean? Our relationship, like I said, it's a story past. We ain't even delved into, you know, the real get down, but you know, you brothers, man, have been our brothers for a long time, 50 years, a long time, you know. So it's an honor, man. You know, we appreciate you brothers, man. You brothers keep doing. I like y'all get down. Need to be more like that, big or small. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? That love and that support. You know what I mean? That advice, that guidance, all that shit matters, man. And I think most sets, man, need to take a note from y'all's page, from y'all's book, and implement these get downs, man. Because we got a lot of brothers that need that love and support, man. That's a, you know, that guidance, all that shit. So, you know, we salute you guys, man.
We salute you,
Payback Crips, man.
Right.
You know.
This is a good thing.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up, bro.
Yeah, thank you for this platform. I mean, it's, and
my bad.
Yeah.
Carry on.
I was saying that, you know, I was telling you that it's kind of hard to measure your success. Like, if got a good podcast or a good show or whatever,
yeah.
because you'll have folks that's dialed in and they won't comment, they won't say nothing, but they absorb all of that.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing. And then you might have some clowns that might say something, and they might be typing in something from a computer from a police station or from a jail cell. So it's kind of hard to gauge at where you at. But my observation, I've watched and heard plenty of podcasts and YouTubes, and I think you're doing a fantastic job across the board, because I don't hear you being biased about, and even the conversation that we just had for 2 hours could be like a universal conversation.
Yes, sir.
With anybody from any hood,
you could be neutral. Come on up in here, man. Let's have this talk.
And thank you for that platform, man.
Yeah, and you know, I want people to know that this platform exists just because of what you said. It's for that. Yeah. You know, it's about the communication. You know, Under the Groove started. You know, a lot of homies I think still don't understand the concept, and that's fine. You know what I mean? But we're gonna stay the course.
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna stay the course, you know, and it's bigger than Hoover.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's bigger than Hoover. Like you just said a minute ago, it's big. It's the ship in the boat.
Yeah.
It's the ship in the boat, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, we in the water, man. We we want, this is a ship, man. We want to carry this ship, man, to other ports, man.
Yeah.
You know, bring people aboard, man. And if they ship big enough, we get on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, where we going?
Yeah.
Where we going with this? Yeah. You know, so this for the people.
Right.
You know, it's Under the Groove, the Hoover story, but this for the people.
Yeah.
And I want Hoovers to know that.
Yeah.
It's bigger than us, man.
I got one more shout out, and I don't want it to get past me, but this intervention field, this peace field of all the different members from all over that are stomped down solid people, with every good intention of promoting and creating peace amongst our people. I do work for APUU. Twin from 107 brought me on. Yeah. That's my guy. Shout out Twin. Shout out to Twin and the great work that he's doing that really represents this nation.
What we do,
what you're doing. And he has been a staple in the community. And again, always willing to help homies, you know, affiliates, non-affiliates, but the opportunity is there for homies who want that support. Just like I provide the support in my community, APUU is doing that too.
Yes,
where
they
homies
are.
can pull up,
Yes, they are.
get an opportunity, get some resources, get the things that they need. And that's what we're here for.
There you go. You did that. I had a thought. I want to shout out to Kev Mack, man. Me and his brother been talking recently, man, and we've gotten to the point where we're talking openly. You know what I mean? I think that's a good look, man. Kev Mack is sponsoring a Skid Down, man, this symposium for all of us, you know what I mean, to come sit down, man, and start hashing out these issues, these concerns. Do your thing, man. Yeah, let it be known. You and I have been talking again. I don't want to be the face or nothing, but I'm in it. I'm with you. All right, so let's get this shit done, man. You know, shout out to Kev Mack, man. Do what you do, man. Your platform, man, means a lot. Utilize it, man, for a lot more. Make it happen, bro. Make it happen. All right. So listen, man. I've sitting down, you know, we've been sitting with the Payback Crips. This is Gardena in the house, man. We out in the sunshine, California sunshine. It's been a beautiful day. Look, you have been, you are, and you will be Under the Groove, man. Peace. Power in the people.
Peace.
7-Eleven, the Deuce and the Nine. You have been, you will be Under the Groove.
But we ain't gang banging. This is about education. We trying to educate our youth right now.
Hey, said day is the best day. Skip walking across the floor in the best way. From Trey to the one way. It's a stump day. LA to the NY. Let the funk play.
Back in them days, it was love, loyalty, respect, and honesty,
that's my nigga Gumby right
man.
there from
You
the
know,
deuce,
ex-busters, hooks, and snitches put on pedestals and ventilators.
Say lows on that Uber shit. HIP, Tommy Moon, one of the hardest poets I ever heard, connected with this star shit. Hey, Baby Jap and Jap 5, quick to set it off on the mic in the shack live.
When the shit get real and feel to the wheel, and then you will see sitting up in that motherfucker, looking at that license, that death sentence.
Then they run into a witness stand, telling on their own homeboys. I know somebody know how to start them ass folks looking for me.
I'm a New York nigga in the Pacific Sun. I say West Side Hoover if you ask where I'm from. Province California runs, infusing my lungs. All about my bread, I ain't leaving.
Understand the end game. What's your end game? What's your purpose?
Keep one in the head or I don't need a gun. I'm with Hawk on Hoover Street with a low ass drum. Hopping down Figueroa with a whole selling cunt.
You have been.
Like this, come second to none. Grooving like Sconey Young, grooving like Booker Bone. I'm bad to the bone.